Good evening. We're going to start the meeting. The time is now 7:30. This is the regular City Council meeting for April 25th. Clerk, do we need to appoint her?
Yes.
Okay. Clerk, can you please do a roll call?
Councilwoman Aaron,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Bliss, Councilman Fleming,
Here.
Councilor Rohrbach,
Here.
Councilman Soltis,
Here.
Councilor Wright,
Here.
and Mayor Grafstein.
I'm here, thank you. Can I please get a motion to excuse Mayor Pro Tem Bliss? He did give notice.
Your Honor, motion to do that.
Okay, thank you. Is there a second?
Your Honor. Support.
Thank you. Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against say no. Motion passes. He is excused. Thank you. The invocation and the pledge this evening will be led by Councilman Soltis. Ask that you stand if you are able. Mr. Soltis, the floor is yours.
Good evening. Welcome. Can you hear me? Okay. As the council gathers here to consider projects and make laws affecting the people of Madison Heights, I ask you to open your eyes and your hearts. Our most serious duty is to look to the community we share, the examples we make, and the legacies we leave. That should be our greatest, most courageous, and noble intention. Let this be our most constant success. Thank you. Talk about dropping the mic.
All right, thank you. Before we do the approval of the agenda, can I please have a motion to appoint Annette Voucher as our acting city clerk for the evening?
Your Honor. I'll make a motion that we appoint Annette, sorry, I forgot her last name.
Voucher.
What,
Voucher.
Belcher, is it Belcher? Or, is that right?
Voucher. Voucher.
Oh, Voucher,
Yeah.
sorry,
It's hard to tell with the math.
sorry. To be today's clerk.
All right, thank you. Can I have a second, please?
Your Honor, I second.
Thank you. Motion has been made and seconded to appoint Annette Voucher as our acting city clerk for the evening. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against say no. Motion carries. Thank you. So up next, we have approval of the agenda. Are there any additions or deletions this evening?
Your Honor,
Councilor Rohrbach?
I move that we add to the agenda C3, the resignation of Councilman Soltis from the Election Commission and the appointment of Mark Bliss to the same seat. And I'd also like to add to the agenda D4, the First Amendment to the City Manager's employment agreement.
All right. Thank you. Is there support?
Your Honor. Support.
Right. Thank you. Motion has been made and seconded for the additions. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against say no. Motion carries. Thank you. Are there any other additions or deletions this evening?
Your Honor, I move that we postpone Ordinance 2181, the amendment to the medical marijuana ordinance, to May 9th, regular council meeting.
All right. Thank you. Is there a second?
Your Honor.
Fleming?
I'll second.
Thank you. Motion has been made and seconded to postpone the reading for ordinance 2181. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against say no. Motion carries. This has been postponed. Any other additions or deletions? All right. Seeing none, we're going to move on to presentations. The first one is the Drinking Water Week proclamation. Mrs. Marsh, do you have a report?
Yes, the mayor and city council are scheduled to declare the week of May the 1st through May the 7th as Drinking Water Week in the city of Madison Heights. For several decades, the American Water Works Association has celebrated Drinking Water Week. This is a unique opportunity for both water professionals and the community to join together in recognizing the vital role that water plays in our daily lives.
All right, thank you. Is there anyone here to accept the proclamation? Or
No.
No, okay.
I'll deliver it to the DPS.
All right, thank you. And then our second presentation from the Michigan Associations of Chiefs of Police for the Madison Heights Police Department's accreditation.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. My name is Bob Stevenson, Executive Director with the Michigan Association of Chiefs of Police, and I bring you greetings from our association to all council members, city officials, and the public here in Madison Heights. I'm here representing the Michigan Law Enforcement Accreditation Commission, and we're here tonight to award the Certificate of Accreditation to the Madison Heights Police Department. Prior to joining the association about 11 years ago, I was a police chief and a 37-year police career in the city of Livonia. And you may not know this, but your department had an excellent reputation already before starting accreditation. I will tell you that since they've completed the accreditation, the department is even better. And sometimes we don't recognize when we're surrounded by excellence just what you've got that's right here and been serving your department. So it's no doubt that we've had as a profession difficult time over the last few years, and we've heard a lot of calls for what has been referred to as police reform. But you should take, I guess, solace and comfort in knowing that every single one of the police reforms that you've heard called for, your department has already done and already accomplished. And I think what's impressive about that is they started this process voluntarily long before any of the calls for police reform were spread throughout this country. To put this in a little bit of perspective, to just show you what rarefied air your department is in the state of Michigan, there are 600 police agencies. Out of those 600 police agencies, 400 of the police agencies are municipal police agencies. And of the 600 police agencies in the state of Michigan, your department is the 39th to accomplish accreditation. To put it another way, your department has done what over 90% of the police departments in Michigan have yet to achieve. So hopefully you're as proud of your department as we are from an association for being leaders in the state. And when I started my little spiel here, I said that we're here to award this Certificate of Accreditation. We don't give these accreditations out. They're awarded, and they're awarded with a lot of hard work. And I want to introduce Neil Rosso, who's the program director for the Michigan Law Enforcement Accreditation Program, to speak just a little bit about the hard work that your department did to achieve this award. Neil?
Mayor, Council, City Manager, it's really a pleasure to be here. I tell people that I became a police officer in 1978. Wow, a lot of people say wow, so when we walked up there, I was, what's important about that is I got to do a lot of pretty neat things in that time, and truly one of the most important and enjoyable things for me is to come into a municipality and tell them they have a great police department. You all are somewhat familiar with accreditation because I'm sure your kids go to accredited school, your family's treated in an accredited hospital, and you went to an accredited college. So the idea of accreditation is you have a group that's pretty close to a profession, and they set standards for that profession, and then they come in and review them. Michigan has 108 standards. When I say there's 108 standards, it's important to say that I don't like to use hidden in those standards, but I'll use the word hidden in those standards, are probably 450 to 470 things that they have to do. So your department decided to do that voluntarily. Now, what they have to do is they have to take those 108 standards. They have to go to their written directives or policy and procedures, whatever they call them. The policies and procedures have to meet the standards, and then they have to create these things called proofs. And a proof is something that shows an outsider that they're following the directive, that they're following the standard. And those assessors were here a month or so ago, and they found you in compliance with all 108 standards. So it's not easy. I kind of undersell it, as the deputy chief might say, on the problems or the challenges that were, but every police department that goes through it becomes better. So it's truly my pleasure to be here. You should be very proud of them. I noticed the clapping at the announcement was pretty good already. So with that, I'm going to have Michigan Associated Chiefs of Police Ron Wiles come up here and present the award to the chief.
So good evening, and thank you for the opportunity to be here. It is certainly a pleasure and a wonderful day to be here in front of you. I recognized your excellent police department. My name is Ron Wiles. I'm the Chief of Police at Grand Blanc Township Police Department up in Genesee County and the President of the Michigan Association Chiefs of Police. This is a proud day. You, your community, your police department should be very proud of the accomplishment. It is a significant professional accomplishment, and as you heard, one that not many police agencies have earned thus far, and then I key on that word earned. Like Director Stevenson said, we don't give these out. There's a lot of hard work that goes in behind this. So, Chief, if you'll please join me. To all who see this certificate, know that the Madison Heights Police Department, having voluntarily complied with the standards established by the Michigan Law Enforcement Accreditation Commission, deemed essential for the delivery of professional police services and the protection of their community, is hereby awarded the certificate of accreditation. Chief, congratulations.
Thank you, everyone. Real quick, I'm not real good on speeches. Even though I'm an attorney now, I still don't like to talk. So, in any event, I have a lot of people to thank, and I want to start out, Mayor and Council, thanking all of you. You've stood by us, you believed in your police department, you've known what we were doing behind the scenes trying to get to this achievement, and to me it's an achievement of a lifetime. Our department has taken a huge step going forward at protecting our community and protecting the viability of our city. And thanking not only you and the city manager for having our backs on this and letting us know this is what we are going to do. We made it through this process. We couldn't have done it without our Deputy Chief, Brent Lemarese. He was our accreditation manager. And when I say he worked hard, I'm using that term very lightly because he seriously put all of his energy and time into this, along with our other command officers from the police station. All the command officers helped then Lieutenant Lemarese, but now Deputy Chief Lemarese, putting this entire program together and getting us where we are today. I also want to quickly thank our assessors, Kevin Sisler from Zeeland Police Department and Dan Mills from the Portage Police Department, who actually came in and sat with our department over the course of 2 days, interviewing and looking through all the proofs that we provided to show that we are and will continue to operate on these standards. There's going to be a lot of hard work moving forward, as every year from now on we need to prove each and every one of those standards and each and every one of the hidden standards within it to show that we are doing best practices. But again, an achievement of a lifetime. I really thank, again, City Council, the City Manager, and our entire police department for their wonderful work. And finally, for the Michigan Association of Chiefs of Police, without them, we could not be doing this. They came in and really made a program that is worthwhile for our department and for all departments in the state of Michigan, and we hope that all the other agencies follow our lead. So, thank you very much.
Don't leave it, someone might steal it. All right, thank you, Chief Haynes, and I just want to say that, our police department was amazing before they received this accreditation, and all this accreditation does is just prove that we were right. So thank you so much to Chief Haynes and everyone on the force for everything that you do. We do have your backs. You're the people who keep us safe in our homes, on our streets, and our businesses, so thank you for everything that you do. All right, up next we have public hearing, special use PSP 22-02, the Madison Heights Civic Center project at 300 West 13 Mile Road.
The City of Madison Heights is requesting special use approval for this Civic Center campus renovation project at 300 West 13 Mile. The site is currently zoned R2, one-family residential. The project involves the renovation of the existing City Hall and the library buildings, as well as new construction of the Active Adult Center. Municipal uses are permitted in the R2 district with special approval per section 10.307 of the zoning ordinance. City Council is requested to approve the special use approval of 300 West 13 Mile Road for the construction of the Active Adult Center.
All right, What is the wish of council?
Your Honor.
Your Honor,
Yes?
before there's a motion on the floor, you should call the,
Public hearing first?
yes,
Okay.
schedule a public hearing.
All right, so I'm going to do the public hearing now. So anyone, we are going to do regular, open to the public, but right now, if anyone in the audience wishes to speak specifically about this special use, this is your opportunity. Invite public comment. All right, seeing none, what is the wish of council?
Your Honor, council wishes to make a motion to approve the special use approval for 300 West 13 Mile Road for the construction of the new active adult center.
All right, thank you. Is there support?
Your Honor. Support.
Thank you. Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? All right, seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against say no. Motion carries. Thank you. We're now going to open the meeting to the public. This is the opportunity for the public to speak. I ask that you keep it to 3 minutes. You address your comments to me if you give your name, address, any affiliation with the city. With that, floor is open.
Hello, I'm Gloria Moore at 27368 Dartmouth. On Thursday, Friends of the Madison Heights area senior citizens have our third Thursday meeting on May 19th at 7 o'clock at Wilkinson Middle School. Snacks and beverages will be on us. Also, we're planning our sock hop at Wilkinson Middle School on June 23rd at 4 o'clock. That's for free to senior citizens and their grandchildren, students and their grandparents, everybody else $5. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak this evening?
Good evening. My name is Peg Marantat. I live at 30783 Plum Lane Drive. And I wanted to address you this evening following up on the last city council. And it was brought up at that time that you were all against having to bail out, I believe it's Highland Park, on the water bills that they've incurred over the years. And I just wanted to bring something to your attention. How our water bills are paid here in the city of Madison Heights is not equitable. You have, at some point in time, the city council made a decision that every household would pay a minimum of 10 units of water a month, regardless of whether they used that much or not. I found this out the hard way. I had a leak, and I went from the 10 units, I went to 16 units. Luckily, I found it the first time I found it in enough time. And I started digging in and going back in and looking at my water bills and looking and seeing how much I used, multiplying it by the rate, and then how much I was billed. And I went back to 2014, I believe it was. I went and got my water bills back to 2014 and brought it up to that point when this situation happened. And to that point, I had already paid almost $200 in excess of what I used. So I know I don't mind, whatever the rate is, I don't mind paying it. You know, I use it, I pay it. But I think it's very unfair to the one and two person households that don't use 10 units a month to have to continually pay more than their fair share. So this has been something that's really been bugging me for many years, and so I just thought I would come and have my say. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who wanted to speak this evening?
Martha Covert, Edward Avenue. Every time I come up here, I try to make it clear that I would like everyone to get along. Mr. Soltis, I've said some rude things to you, and I'm going to apologize for that. I shouldn't have been that rude to you. You are doing something for our city. You don't lie to us or misinform us. Just at the last meeting, Vita talked about John R. and how it's bubbling, and we were told by Emily it'll be fixed this year. Kind of concerning to me that that would be happening since we have I-75 going on, Stevenson going on, Gardenia, 12 Mile. So I called, and they're like, no, they're not doing anything on John R. because it would gridlock our city. You guys don't tell us things that you don't know are true, or maybe you didn't verify. That's not fair to us. We're counting on you guys to tell us the truth. That's what we're doing, okay? If you're going to tell us things that are trying to bring the city together to make her feel better or whatever, don't embellish things. Don't. That's not fair. And you know it's not fair. When you say, you know, that we love everyone in the city, no, all they got to do is watch the old HREC meetings that were on Zoom, and they'll see that there's not a lot of love from you at all towards me.
Okay.
You didn't care.
Ms. Covert, can you please address your comments to me?
There was no love at all when I was being personally and politically harassed, yet they talk about being loved and being kind. Where was that love and kindness when one of their constituents was under fire? And not even a word was said until Kevin Wright, Mr. Middle of the Road, nice guy, said, enough. You've said enough. You two didn't say anything. Remember that when you want me to be loving and kind to you, when you didn't for me.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who wants to speak this evening? I request that you address me directly with your comments. Please go ahead.
Is that right?
Go ahead.
I'm Donna Dalling. I live at 30294 Gary Avenue. I've been a Madison Heights resident all my life. I have worked hard with Active Adult Center for many, many years, and I am very, very disappointed in the way that we've been treated, and that's all I have to say.
All right, thank you. Is there anyone else who wanted to speak this evening?
Vita Palazzolo, 28653 Jenner. Seems kind of weird to say this after those two comments, but May 5th is the National Day of Prayer. So I just wanted to let people know that I will be out front at the gazebo offering my prayers. And I did not make an event page, but I might do that for Facebook. So if anybody would like to come out, it's not a denominational prayer. It's not a religious prayer. It is something from my faith that I'm going out there for the National Day of Prayer that's been around, I think since I'm not even going to state it because I don't have my facts, but it's been around quite a long time. So if I need to get approval, I will speak to you, Mayor, after the meeting, but I will be at noon at the gazebo. National Day of Prayer, May 5th. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak this evening? All right, with that, I'm going to close public comment and move on. First up, we have communications. The first one is Alex Saints Foundation, request for local governing body resolution for charitable gaming license. Mrs. Marsh?
Alex Saints Foundation has submitted a request to obtain a local governing body resolution from the City of Madison Heights as required by the state for the group's charitable gaming license to hold their annual gala event in the city of Troy on May the 20th. The foundation has supplied all the required documents necessary to approve this request. The organization only maintains one office as the registered agent, which is located in Madison Heights. Therefore, the City Attorney's Office staff and I recommend that Council adopt the resolution recognizing Alex's Saints Foundation as a legitimate nonprofit organization.
All right, thank you. What is the wish of Council?
Your Honor,
Councilman?
I would like to make the recommendation that Council adopt the resolution recognizing Alex's Saints Foundation as a legitimate nonprofit organization.
Thank you. Is there Thank you. Is there support?
Your Honor.
Mr. Soltis?
Support.
Thank you. Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Your Honor,
Mr. Fleming?
I did speak to the representative from the foundation. They do have a very good cause. One of their cause is basically about one of their family members had a death because of an overdose of narcotics, and so they're trying to make aware about helping people with addictions and stuff like that. So they have a really great cause with their foundation.
All right, thank you. So just for clarification, even though this is taking place in Troy, we need to adopt this because this person is in the city. It's one of these rules. So if there is no further discussion, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against say no. Motion carries. Thank you. Next up, we have 2 resignations. We have Simone Moy is resigning and Jeremy Carroll. Can I get a motion from council, please?
Your Honor,
Councilor Bach.
I move that we accept the resignation of Simone Moy from the Human Relations and Equity Commission and to declare her seat vacant, and to accept the resignation of Jeremy Carroll from the Parks and Recreation Commission and declare his seat vacant.
All right, thank you. Is there a second?
Your Honor.
Swanning?
I'll second.
Thank you. Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Your Honor, I just would ask that we also make sure we send them the appropriate recognition.
Yes.
For their service.
We will. Thank you. Any other discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against say no. Motion carries. Next, C3 is the added resignation of Councilman Soltis and appointment of Mayor Pro Tem Bliss to the Elections Committee. What is the wish of council?
Your Honor,
Councilor
I
Rohrbach.
move that we accept the resignation of Councilman Soltis from the Elections Commission and appoint Mayor Pro Tem Bliss to that position.
All right, thank you. Is there support?
Your Honor,
Councilwoman
I
Karen?
support.
Thank you. Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Your Honor,
Please.
I just want to make note that the reason I had to resign is because I filed for State House race.
Thank you. And just to clarify, for this specific board, the only council people who can be on this board are people who are not in an upcoming election. And so previously it had been Councilman Gettings, and with his passing, the only 2 people left were Mark Bliss and Dave Soltis. And with this new development with Mr. Soltis, he's no longer eligible. So Mr. Bliss is the only person who it can be. So even though he's not here, I believe he's fully aware of it. So there's no other discussion. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against say no. Motion carries. Next up, we have our reports. First is from the DPS director for the 2022 fireworks permit. Mrs. Marsh.
The DPS is once again planning the upcoming festival in the park, which is scheduled for June the 26th. The permit application process for commercial public firework displays requires approval of City Council. Staff and I recommend that Council approve this permit for the 2022 fireworks display and authorize the mayor to sign on behalf of the city.
All right, thank you. What is the wish of council?
Your Honor,
Councilor Rohrbach.
I move that we approve the permit for the 2022 fireworks display and authorize mayor to sign on behalf of the city.
Thank you. Is there support?
Your Honor. Support.
Thank you. Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against say no. Motion carries. Thank you. Next up from the CED Director, the participation agreement for MISHDA's Michigan Homeowner Assistance Fund. Mrs. Marsh?
The Michigan State Housing Development Authority established the Michigan Homeowner Assistance Fund under the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021 in order to mitigate financial hardships associated with COVID. This fund provides up to $25,000 in non-recourse grant funds to eligible entities for the purpose of preventing mortgage delinquencies, defaults, foreclosures, loss of utility services, or displacement of homeowners experiencing financial hardship. Eligible homeowners must be able to demonstrate a qualified financial hardship on or after January 1st of 2020, or that they experienced a qualified financial hardship before January 21st, 2020 that continued after that date. Eligible properties for this program include owner-occupied homes and condos, multi-unit properties provided that the homeowner is living in one of the units. Staff and I recommend that City Council approve and authorize the city manager to sign the Michigan State Housing Development Authority Michigan Home Ownership Assistance Fund Provider Participation Agreement to make this product available to our residents.
All right, thank you. What is the wish of council?
Your Honor,
Right?
I'd like to make a motion authorizing the city manager to sign the participating agreement for the MHSDA's Michigan Homeowner Association Fund.
All right, thank you. Is there support?
Your Honor, I'll support.
Thank you. Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Your Honor,
Please.
just want to say thank you to the city staff that have worked on this project to make it a viable project. I believe that our community development staff worked on it quite extensively, and what's happening here is that we're going to be able to help people, single-family homes, condos, properties, remedy issues that are going on at their homes, and it's going to improve issues with blight. It's going to improve neighborhood all around, and I'm just really happy to see that this is another one of those things that is going through to help people in our city.
All right, thank you. Anything else?
Your Honor?
Please.
Yeah, I'd like to add my opinion on it. So when I was first married years and years ago, we participated this in another city, and it's fantastic. And so I'm glad to see it here. It really helps out for people in need, but again, it increases the property value, and it's a win-win for everybody. So thank you.
All right, thank you. Is there any other discussion, comments from council? All right, seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against say no. Motion carries. Next up, Finance Director, we have the bond authorizing resolution, Madison Heights 2022 capital improvement bonds. Mrs. Marsh?
City Council is being requested to approve a resolution authorizing the issuance of capital improvement bonds in the amount of $6.5 million, specifically for the renovation and rebuilding of the City Hall, Library, Active Adult Center, and Fire Station 2. Due to his employment as a financial advisor with the potential to steer clients towards this investment, Councilman Wright will need to abstain. We also have Jeff Aronoff from Miller Canfield here today to answer any questions regarding this bond issuance.
Point of clarity, do I need to anything to do that, or is it just understood because you read it?
You need to abstain. That's all you need to do. Just
say.
agree to
You just
abstain?
can't vote.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. What is the wish of council?
Your Honor, I'd like to make a motion that we approve a resolution authorizing the issuance of capital improvement bonds in the amount of $6.5 million, specifically for the renovation and rebuilding of the City Hall, Library, Active Adult Center, and Fire Station 2.
All right, thank you. Is there support?
Your Honor? Support.
Soltis? Support?
Support, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thought I said it in
All right.
the mic.
Is there any discussion? All right. Seeing none, Mr. Wright, you're going to abstain. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against, say no.
One abstention.
Motion carries. Thank you. Next up, item D4, the amendment to the city manager's agreement. Can I get a motion from council, please?
Your Honor?
Mr. Wright?
I'd like to make a motion to make an amendment to, I'm sorry, I was in the wrong one.
Okay, does someone else like to make a motion?
Your Honor, I move that council approves the First Amendment to the city manager's employment agreement.
Thank you. Is there support?
Your Honor, I'll support.
Thank you. Motion's been made and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Your Honor?
Sherman?
I would ask that the maker of the motion and support agree to authorize the mayor and clerk to sign on behalf of the city.
I agree.
Same.
All right, thank you. Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against, say no. Motion carries. Thank you. Next up, we have the purchasing coordinator to the fire department wellness grant equipment purchase. Mrs. Marsh?
As you're aware, on July the 26th, the City of Madison Heights received notice that the fire department was awarded $98,000 in grant funds through the fiscal year 2020 Assistance to Firefighters Grant to set up a wellness program for all sworn members of the fire department. This grant includes funding for medical examinations and fitness equipment, which will benefit all of the sworn members of the fire department and help them maintain the level of fitness required for their strenuous jobs. The grant specifications included authorization for the purchase of equipment to outfit both Fire Station 1 and 2 for a total of $26,812. Rogue Fitness holds a contract with U.S. General Services Administration, and they are able to provide pricing below the GSA contract with a total quote of $17,797 for 2 rowing machines, 2 weight benches, 2 treadmills, and 2 exercise bikes. This is a savings of $9,015 over the expected cost. Staff and I would respectfully request that council approve the purchase of the fitness equipment listed in the quote from Rogue Fitness in the amount of $17,797.32 and authorize the city to proceed with fulfilling this in terms of the agreement. And Kevin Powers is here today to speak on this if you have any questions.
All right, thank you. What is the wish of council?
Your Honor,
Soltis?
I'd like to make a motion that council approve the purchase of the exercise equipment under the Department of Homeland Security FEMA fiscal year 2020 Assistance to Firefighters Grant in the amount of $17,797.32 to Rogue Fitness, and to authorize the city to proceed with fulfilling its terms under the grant for additional equipment as determined by a grant addendum.
All right, thank you. Is there support?
Your Honor.
Ms. Fleming?
I'll support.
Thank you. Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Your Honor.
Ms. Fleming?
I think this is a really great grant for the firefighters. As you know, that we had one Captain Brozick who passed away, fortunately, due to a heart attack. So, you know, anything for the wellness of our first responders is something I'm for. So.
All right, thank you. Any other discussion?
Your Honor, I'd just like to point out, when you do the Citizens Academy, you get to see the police's workout room, and you get to see the fire's workout room. And I'm excited to vote yes for this because the firefighters were definitely ones who were like, hey, we want a little bit better equipment, so this is awesome. Oh, no problem.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion? All right, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against say no. Motion carries. Thank you for coming out this evening. Next up, we have ordinances. We've got from the city clerk, ordinance number 2180, the amendment to precinct 8 polling location. This is a second reading.
In conjunction with the recently approved precinct boundary location changes, Lamphere Schools has agreed to let the city use John Page Middle School, located at 29615 Tawas Street, as a permanent location for Precinct 8. Precinct 8 has been located at the Active Adult Center, which will not be available as a polling location in the future. This will enable us to include this location change with the new voter ID cards that will be sent out due to redistricting. As required by city charter, staff recommends approval of Ordinance 2180, amendment to the polling locations, on second and final reading.
Thank you. What is the wish of council?
Your Honor, I move that council approves Ordinance 2180, amendment to polling location on first reading. No, I'm sorry, on the second and final reading. Excuse me.
All right, thank you. Is there support?
Your Honor, support.
Thank you. Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against say no. Motion carries. Next up, we have the minutes. We have 3 minutes. We have the special meeting of April 11th, the regular meeting of April 11th, and then the special city council meeting of April 18th. Can I get a motion from council, please?
Your Honor, I'll make a motion that we approve the special city council meeting minutes for April 11th, 2022.
All right, is there support?
Your Honor, I'll support.
Thank you. Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against say no. Motion carries. Any other motions from council this evening?
Your Honor,
Councilor
can I
Rohrbach?
put the last two in one motion?
Yes, you can.
All right. I move that we approve regular city council meeting minutes from April 11th, 2022, and the special city council meeting minutes from April 18th, 2022.
All right. Thank you. Is there support?
Your Honor, I support.
Thank you. Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against say no. Motion carries. Thank you. This concludes the regular portion of our meeting. I now invite closing comments, starting with Councilwoman Aaron.
Thank you, Your Honor. I want to first say that I am so excited that we are bringing back the fireworks. The last 2 years, I have truly missed being out in the park and enjoying those fireworks. Although my neighbors have given some really fantastic displays, but it's nothing like sitting on the lawn with your family and friends and enjoying a great display. So I'm glad that we're bringing that back. I also want to just remind everyone that next month in May is National Mental Health Awareness Month. And this year's theme is Together for Mental Health. I'm going to be joining NAMI, which is the National Alliance on Mental Health, to help raise awareness about different things that we're going through with our mental health. Unfortunately, we all know that mental illness has a bad stigma against it, but the goal with NAMI is to support, educate, and advocate for different policies that support individuals with mental illness and their families. During this month, I plan on helping by providing resources, information, and contact to those of us in our community. You know, there are people that are suffering in silence because they are fearful of what someone may think, what someone may do, or how they may be treated. And unfortunately, those people are committing suicide and dying because they are afraid to ask for help. But help is out there, and I just want us to be aware and, you know, believe it, because during the pandemic, mental illness, depression, anxiety, isolation, loneliness, and feelings of not feeling like you're wanted has increased tremendously. And even medical professions are leading to believe that it may end up being the second pandemic because, you know, so many people are being affected. So I just want to encourage everybody, if you're feeling any of the symptoms that I've mentioned, or you know someone that is having those symptoms and you can't find anybody that you can talk with or anyone you can trust, there are phone numbers out there that's available. There are helplines with counselors that are on duty 24 hours a day. And I also want to remind us that 1 in every 5 individuals, experience some form of mental illness. And unlike any other illness, you can see it if they have it, but a mental illness you cannot see. So you just have to make certain that you show somebody love, that you show someone you care, that you speak to people when you see them in public. You never know that person, you may have just saved their lives just by simply saying hello. And that's it, Your Honor.
Thank you. Councilor Wright?
I'd like to concur with that. As a person married to a clinician, I understand through osmosis. I always say through osmosis because I don't do it, but mental health is critically important, and it's critically important to me that we not wait until people are ill, but we acknowledge the importance of self-care so we don't explode, so we don't make microaggressions, so we don't attack people. We just acknowledge that we all need help. So I concur. Mental health is something we all need to address, but not necessarily when you're at the edge, but before. On that note, when we talk about things that are awesome for our community, the National Day of Prayer is along that line. It's an opportunity to just kind of connect. So I'd like to commend that idea. That's awesome. Have an opportunity to connect non-denominationally, to come together to center. That's awesome. Congratulations to our police department on that accreditation. That is an outstanding acknowledgement. That accreditation is not just good for the city today, it's gonna be good for the city in 10 years because that's something they're gonna have to continuously work towards. So, I also would like to send my regards to Simone Moy, the former chairman of the Human Relations and Equity Commission. Here's the deal. We don't all agree on everything, but we agree on being kind and we agree on being inclusive. And Simone has been a part of HREC since the beginning. She's been very professional. She's been very welcoming and a big part of making to help move the HREC forward, including being a part of putting together the strategic plan that they have, which includes, I know everybody kind of gets upset about Juneteenth, but there's a lot of other events that they're working on. There's a book thing that they're working on as well. It's gonna, I believe it's gonna start in June. So I just want to commend Simone for the hard work she's committed, and she will continue to commit to this city. I was very excited to go out to the Active Adult Center, the Active Adult Advisory Board. It was awesome to be there and to listen to hear what they had to say, and to also to have Melissa make it a point to be there, and have Corey almost be there, and have Sean be there, and myself, and Sean. There were two Seans there. There was Sean Fleming and Sean. What is the other Sean's name?
Valentine.
Valentine was there. So outstanding for them. You know, I think at the end of the day, I hope that what we come to is something that everyone feels happy about, and I think it will be. I think the new project is going to be amazing. So on that note, I just would like to remind us, yes, to just be kind. It all boils down to that. Just be kind. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Mr. Sherman?
Just one quick comment, Your Honor. I would like to compliment our chiefs, our new Deputy Chief Lamarise and Chief Haynes on this wonderful accreditation. The spokespeople for the organization told you how unique it was for us to receive this honor, and I'm very proud of the whole department, and we really enjoy working with the department and the officers on the cases that we prosecute next door in the 43rd District Court. So kudos to everyone in that great accomplishment. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Mrs. Marsh?
To echo those comments, I just want to say again, congratulations to the police department. It's one more reason to be proud of that department. I was proud of it before, and when I was interviewed for this accreditation process, they asked for just one adjective to describe it, and I responded dependable, because as a city manager, you're at home watching the 10 o'clock news, and when you see coming up next police department, I don't suddenly feel like, oh my goodness, this is going to be Madison Heights. But I could have come up with 20 positive adjectives that describe our department, so congratulations. I also wanted to say congratulations to the fire department. That was here tonight with almost $100,000 worth of fire department wellness equipment for a grant that they wrote and a project that they have implemented, which will hopefully move that department forward as far as fitness as well. So that's it.
All right, thank you. Anything from the clerks this evening?
No, thank you, Mayor.
All right, thank you. Councilor Rohrbach?
I just want to join the rest of my fellow council members and say congratulations and job well done to our police chief and everybody who's involved. I did in an organization I worked for many years ago. I was part of the accreditation process that they went through for nonprofits that serve the homeless. And it was one of those things that it was so arduous. Like every day somebody was coming back like, oh, what about this thing and this next thing? And it just felt like it never ended. And at that time there were binders, like we had to create these binders, and it felt like the binders took up the entire conference table by the end of the process. And it was just, it was crazy. It was great, but it felt like just very heavy. And but at the end, when you achieve that feeling of accomplishment is just incredible. And then you always know that the work continues because they're going to come back and check some more. So congratulations, job well done. And I also want to encourage any of my fellow council members who haven't been able to participate in the Oakway training with the police department, or the fire department rather, to have an experience putting on all their gear and doing all of the things, climbing up the stairs with a hose and all that stuff. If you haven't had a chance to do that, please make a point. I believe it's very soon this year, so make sure you get in touch with, I'm sure Melissa can get you in touch and help you figure out when to do that. But it's one of those things, I'm not going to say it was life-changing, because I'm not going to be hyperbolic here, but it was really profound for me to do that. I really felt like I learned so much. And I got the firefighter's helmet with the Oakway on it, and I keep it on my shelf behind me, and I see it every time on a Zoom meeting because it's right directly behind my head. And every single time I see it, I think back about our firefighters and the work that they're doing every single day, and the strain and the work that they're putting in with their bodies. And so I'm just thrilled about this, the grant, and being able to improve their facilities so that they can continue to help us. I also want to say a special thank you to our paramedics and those that come in. I know that my parents are, in their 70s. My father is not fully healthy. He falls a lot, and he is a big guy. My mom is not, and so she can't pick him up off the floor. And I can't tell you how many times our EMTs will come out to the house. They call when he falls, and they pick him up, set him up right, and most of the time that's all he needs. But so I just want to thank you to everybody, all of our first responders, for all the hard work you do helping the folks in our community. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Councilman Fleming?
I too want to thank everybody who helped along with the process of the certification for the police department. It's a great accomplishment. I also want to say we thank you for your proactiveness, for doing all the things you did before the accreditation. I think that's a pretty great accomplishment itself. This month is also Autism Awareness Month. It's been for all of April, and now it's the end of April. But the fire department had a fundraiser that went on. They were selling T-shirts for Autism Awareness Month, and they were able to raise just a little over $1,000 that is going to be going to another organization here in Madison Heights that's going to be supporting autism. So I think that's a really great thing that they just did, and it happens every single year. And secondly, on May 3rd, which is a very important date, that you will not be able to fly in the United States without having a real ID identification card. That means that you're going to have to go to the Secretary of State if you do not have it already, and it's like a little small star that's going to be on your driver's license. And basically, that allows you to fly within the United States. It's separate than the international enhanced driver's license that you would get to go to Canada or somewhere else, but you're going to have to need that. And also, while you're there, it's also Donor Month here in April. So if you think about getting your driver's license renewed or updated, you can also join and save someone's life as being a donor. So that's all I have for tonight. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Mr. Soltis?
Thank you, Your Honor. Yeah, I'm really proud of our police department chief. He did a fantastic job. I was fortunate enough to be one of the interviewees, so I played a small little tiny part in that, but I tried to say everything that you coached me on. I mean, no, take that back. But congratulations. I've been on council for a little over 8 years, and it's incredible the progress that we made with our police department. Going back to just getting that tiny little fence around the perimeter, what a battle that was, but we finally got it done. Up from the gun range, the SIU, which is one of the proudest things that, for me, being on council, was that Special Investigations Unit, doing ride-alongs with them and seeing all the work that they did because of the human trafficking, all the way to the street officers that every day, and the detectives. So you do a fantastic job, and I'm so glad you're with us, so thank you. Also, in terms of the mental illness, I started teaching, and so I've noticed that there's a lot of anxiety with the kids. Different grades didn't necessarily matter. So that's something that we need to look at as a community. I saw it pretty much every day, or see it every day. And even when we coached, the chief and I coached, it was fourth graders, third graders, and even then they had, some had quite a bit of anxiety. That some of it could be due to like a stage fright or being on a team, but I think it's a little bit more than that. And also, I just want to add that because it was a situation, you know, we all know marijuana is legal right now, but I would not smoke it around kids or have anyone near you that's a child, because it's, in my opinion, very detrimental. I think the science has shown that, so just please be cognizant of that. It's not like secondhand. It's something that can really, I think, detrimental to a kid. But anyhow, on a good note, we had a good meeting, and I appreciate everyone showing up. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So I just want to echo a few of the things that were said. Congratulations to the police. You know, as I said earlier, they didn't do things to get this accreditation. They got the accreditation because of all the things that they've been doing. And I have all the faith that they're going to continue doing these things because they care. They care about us, everybody in the city. They care about each other. They care about doing the right thing. And they do that every day in the face of adversity. They do that every day. So congratulations again, Chief. We've got your back. Councilwoman Aaron, thank you so much for talking about mental health. And you know, it really has become much more acceptable, but it still has a stigma. And it's really sad that, you know, staff that you said there, 1 in 5 people have it. And you're right, you don't know, unfortunately, the media and, you know, when you're watching TV or you're watching a movie, what you see are the crazy people that are just so on way over on one end, and that's not how most people who have mental illness, that's not how they are. You know, and again, when you're watching these shows, you see someone who's taking a handful, 20 pills, you know, or they miss one day of a pill and everything just loses it. And that's not what the reality is. And the reality is a lot of people with mental illness have good days and they have bad days. And the most that you can do, or the least that you can do, I guess, would be to listen and to be supportive and to be kind. And as she was saying, the simple, hi, how are you? You know, just that little act of kindness. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen in May. And like so many other issues, mental health needs to be addressed the entire year, not just in May. And for people who do want to talk to someone, if it's 10 o'clock at night and you're just feeling really low, you can call Common Ground. Number's 1-800-231-1127. And there's someone there who you can talk to. And sometimes that's all you need. You just need someone to listen to you for a few minutes. So just keep that in mind, that there are resources out there. I'm excited that we're doing the festival and the fireworks again. That was really upsetting to me and a lot of people that we had to cancel. You know, so it's nice that we're able to do that. I'm excited about that. You can talk to Mrs. Marsh or to me if you want to sponsor something with that. We're always looking for sponsorship for the event. But I'm excited to have that back again. And then, you know, we've had a couple of other things going on in the city. We had the 5K. Parks and Rec had their 5K last week, so that was nice. Chief Haynes was there, as were a few other of our employees. So that was nice to see the people who came out, and that was something that was great. There was a category for under 12, so there were some kids who were running on their own. There was a category for the over 65, and there were a couple people who were running or walking, pushing strollers. So that was really nice to see that. So happy that we had that again. I've got a couple people who have been calling me, the various complaints that are coming in. One of them is about speeding, and there's no good answer for that. I think speeding is getting worse right now because of the construction, and people are going down side streets. They don't know where they're going. They're not realizing there's a stop. They're ignoring the stop even if they know. And all I can say is you need to be vigilant. It is not realistic that we have our police at every single corner. People just need to be vigilant. And if you do see, if it does seem to be some kind of an issue, you know, reach out to the police department. They'll do what they can. But you need to be vigilant, and you as drivers, we as drivers need to be vigilant as well. And just, you know, remember that if you get somewhere 5 minutes late, it's better you get there safely. The other thing that I've been having people contact me about are coyotes. Just keep an eye out for them. They're out. I think this is mating season. Just watch out for the coyotes. Watch out for pets and children with coyotes. Stay away from them. Stay inside. Don't try and antagonize them. And then panhandlers. So we've been having panhandling people standing out with signs asking for money. We've been having that for years. We've been having that as an issue for decades, and it's not just Madison Heights, it's all over. And the bottom line is, it's freedom of speech. There is nothing illegal about me standing there with a sign saying, please give me money. I can have a sign that says, give me money for food, or give me money for anything. It really doesn't matter. There's nothing illegal about anybody standing there. And as long as people are giving money, people are gonna keep doing that. So there's also a lot of different organizations that are out there that can help. So if you don't wanna see panhandlers, don't give them the money. If you wanna give them the money, that's absolutely your choice. But, you know, there's other ways that people can be helped, and I'm seeing people all over, and they're not just on the street corners. I'm seeing them all over, and it's not just in Madison Heights. So, you know, it's worth it for them to be there, but at this point in time, what they're doing is not illegal, so there is no legal recourse for us. If someone has thoughts on that, I'd be happy to hear them, but from everything that I've looked at, and like I say, it's not just our city. And that's pretty much it. So I appreciate everybody coming out to speak tonight, and our next meeting is going to be May 9th. The time is now 8:31. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you.